This program is brought to you by Emory University.
Well, lobbying becomes unethical once you get a clear quid pro quo as part of the exchange. Also, one of the challenges is not whether it's unethical or not, as much as the perception of what is going on in the public's mind. There is a real problem. What the nature of the problem is might be something that needs deeper exploration. But at the most basic level, the problem gets at the question of the legitimacy of the political process in the United States. And as long as there's the perception that the system is corrupted by lobbying, by gifts, by monetary donations, the very stability and long-term health of the system is at risk. I don't think legislators ought to be able to accept anything over above a nominal amount, $25. Again, as I suggested earlier, the onus isn't on the lobbyists. They're just doing their job. The onus and responsibility is on the elected officials. They have to put in place strict, clear, transparent, and enforceable rules about what they will and will not accept. It turns lobbying into what it really ought to be, an informational exchange between legislators and the public. Even if they're professional individuals representing a particular industry, a particular cause, a particular idea, they're still part of the public. And if their engagement with the legislators is to tell them what they think is important, why it's important, and why they ought to support a certain type of policies, that's legitimate. But let's remove money as a driver in the system. Super PACs, again, have the issue of distorting the entire system, beginning with the question of access. Who has access to the media? Who has access to controlling the conversation in the political dialogue? Who has access to candidates? The law technically says that the super PACs can't coordinate with candidates. But again, that's an invitation to corruption because it's a joke. It's a myth. And we all know that there's coordination. We all know that the messages are linked. And to try and run a system on this kind of wink and a nod is really to degrade the entire process. The variety of rules throughout the United States suggests that, yes, it is possible. I think the people have to demand stricter accountability of their legislators. They have to demand accountability. They have to demand transparency. And they have to demand limits on what's spent on them. And once that happens, I think the legislators will begin to respond.
The preceding program is copyrighted by Emory University.